Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to our channel. We're offended, you're offended. I'm Kim. This is Tyler. Maybe.
So,
Oh, just
I've
jump right
been
in.
I've been looking yeah, I've been looking at, like, their food shortages are on the way. They be coming,
Right.
and price be spiking, you
Oh,
know?
oh. So best of both worlds. Got it.
Yeah, like, if there's some good news, um, people are really gonna learn what rice and beans taste like.
God.
So yeah, I've been looking into more like the rise in food prices and shortages and yada yada. So let's on this wonderful Friday, let's get everyone's spirit nice and chipper.
Yay. Well, before we get too chipper, though, don't forget to like, subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down, share. You can check us out on YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, Anchor, anywhere you want to listen to
Oh,
podcasts, we'll be there, including Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. So check us out.
oh. Yeah, okay. So uh I can't spell
Okay.
um oh, God, dude, I can't spell for shit right now.
Why are you trying to spell anyway? You're supposed to be
So,
talking. People can't see
okay,
what you typing.
okay, so I guess the whole thing kind of kicked off with an article from CTV. Why is Twitter popping up? Fuck off.
They love
Um,
us.
I I actually okay. So today, CNN posted on Twitter like Don Lemon and C Cuomo, Chris Cuomo, want to know during Thanksgiving, how do you avoid fights with your family?
Oh my God.
And
Really?
and I responded, thankfully, or thanks to Cuomo's COVID policies, both my parents are dead, so Thanksgivings aren't awkward.
Oh
Or
my God.
it's something to that effect. Well, I'll see if I could pull up. What did I say? Oh wait, oh, where's my tweets? Where's my tweets?
Tweet.
How do you so their tweet was, yeah, how do you avoid conflict when sitting down to Thanksgiving? Don Lemon and Chris Cuomo want to hear your tips for an upcoming episode of The Handoff. And I said, I don't have to worry since Cuomo's policies killed my parents. No more awkward Thanksgiving.
I mean,
So, for anyone that doesn't know, Andrew Cuomo, which is Chris Cuomo's brother, who was the governor of New York, the guy that apparently just couldn't keep his hands off of women, the whole sexual assault allegations that he was going through. But, at least he was taken down. Unfortunately, he wasn't taken down for what he needed to be taken down. Sorry, women. I know, Chris Cuomo or Andrew Cuomo. I get them mixed up. One guy is a fucking prop comic on a shitty news station. The other one is a fucking sexual predator. Remember that whole believe all women thing? That Jeffrey, not Epstein. What the fuck was his name? Harvey Weinstein.
oh yeah.
The guy that, you want to be a star, don't you, baby?
Yeah.
That guy. The whole believe all women and all this kind of crap, and and I've pushed back, and I don't think you should believe all women because, well, you've seen some of the stuff that has come out with women completely fabricating stories, like
True
like
story.
I don't know. There was quite a few. I remember the Rolling Stone completely fabricated, like totally made up a story. Like none of this that happened in the story actually happened. So I actually lost a lot of respect for the Rolling Stone. They used to be a really good publication, but I guess they're not. But so yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, Andrew Cuomo and a couple other governors, and actually in Quebec too, Francois Legault, um, killed a fuck ton of old people because they were putting COVID positive patients in old care homes.
Didn't that happen in Canada too?
That's Quebec. You
Oh,
know,
okay.
the province that everyone doesn't like.
Oh, that's why we don't talk about them. Got it.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah,
Yeah, when that
no.
whole thing broke about putting COVID positive patients, like young patients in old folks' home to kind of, get them to peace out sooner, that was fucked. That was beyond disgusting.
Well, and I guess if you want to look at it as though like people are just a commodity to be used until they're useless and then get rid of them in, the cheapest way possible, it was a fantastic idea. Why take care of all these old people? They just soak up resources. So let's just, a little COVID patient here, a little COVID patient there, and Bob's your dead uncle now, but yeah, he problem solved, right?
It's funny you say that as a joke, but I really do have an Uncle Bob who died. So, joke's on
From
you,
COVID.
jerk.
Oh well,
No,
sorry,
no, it
Robert.
wasn't. It wasn't from that. But I mean, I don't know. I
It
just
was
think
from
it's
all that sweet puss that he was getting in the old care home. Eh? Fucking old people. There
no.
was a thing that it was like STIs were on the rise in old care homes because all
Yeah.
they were doing was fucking. All
Yes.
they were doing was fucking. That's
I
it.
mean, I gotta
It
high
could,
five them though. I mean, the bad thing is that they decided that, hey, we're not gonna use protection, which kind of dumb, but you know,
oh, that's probably not the most immediate thing that's going to kill them. Let's be fair. Okay, so anyways,
I was gonna say something there and I just lost it. I was like, okay, let's detour back to what we're talking about here. So
okay,
Cuomo, yeah,
so well, no, we weren't talking.
right? No,
That
we
wasn't the
weren't.
whole.
No, we weren't.
No, but yeah. But anyway, Chris Cuomo. I don't. Did you ever see that thing where like he apparently got COVID and he was locked in his basement and he was self isolating, and when he came out, they did like this big fucking production, like this. It was like a gender reveal, except for a retard.
Retard reveal.
Like, yeah, it's like, look, you're functionally retarded. Yay!
I did it.
Yeah, you have one less chromosome. We're
Yeah, no.
proud of you, Cuomo. Oh, is that a picture of a horsey? We'll put it on the fridge. We're
Yes.
proud of you. But so, yeah, he did this whole fucking stage thing where the camera crew came into his house and he came out of his basement like an unwanted child locked there and finally freed. And
Like someone who was like trapped in a
oh,
bunker for 20 years.
yeah, it was like Brendan Fraser in that fucking in that movie where he was trapped in a fallout shelter
Mhm.
and stuff. And yeah, but so and yeah, there were people that actually seen Chris Cuomo out of his house, like out and about doing stuff while he was supposed to be under quarantine.
Of course. Why
And they
would you
took
ever
photos of him
expect that he would
like
stay in quarantine?
the fact that like okay, so I'm trust me, we're gonna get to the food shortages because, well, you know what? I'm sure everyone has noticed that everything's costing a lot more. But this is just a poke, a little fucking little, a little. But the fact that CNN and people take it seriously is mind-boggling to me.
Yeah.
And I've said this before. If anyone that is telling you something says, "Don't look into it, just trust me," I'm done. Every single person, like, and I've brought this up before. Like, I watch Jimmy Dore I think he does fantastic work. Me and him don't align politically on everything, but he's not grifting. He's not making shit up just for the for the clicks.
Yeah.
Like Tim Pool, Viva Fry, well, Steven Crowder, and obviously he's obviously he's quite conservative. But it's interesting that me and him ideologically line up on a lot more than what would traditionally where I should kind of align, like the
Yeah.
independent kind of thing. But
Yeah, me too. And I
like,
me personally, I would consider myself more alt middle.
okay, Dr. Zubin,
Yeah,
fucking relax.
it's true.
But I don't even what is alt middle? What even is that? Did I lose you?
No, don't ask me definitions.
Well, okay. Look, if you're gonna say you're something, then you better be able to quote it. I'm walking away because I can't handle this shit. Fucking alt middle. I'm gonna give you the fucking alt middle right up your ass.
It's like
Sorry. Could you
um
still hear me while I was yelling?
I did, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Totally did. They're people who want to do away with a two-party system and create new parties.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we can have the same the same bullshit. Well, I guess in the US, yeah, it's the uniparty. That's all it is. So you want to create a new uniparty. I would look into that definition because I'm pretty sure you don't know.
What do you mean I don't?
Just call him. Because alt middle, okay, that's supposed to be like a kind of like a catchy, like, oh, I'm not alt right, I'm not alt left, I'm alt middle. Okay, so you would be more like a libertarian kind of thing, not the Justin Trudeau liberal, like an act, like you believe in independence, freedom of choice, the right to self-preservation, the right to choose your own fate and your own destiny instead of being coerced and forced into doing something that you know is a net negative on your life instead of a positive, where government isn't involved in everything you fucking do, where government sticky fingers and all this shit isn't in everyone's fucking pie.
Well, okay. Well, it's saying that like in this one, in a political world where it seems like that only the most extreme positions are heard, so you're right and you're left, it's felt that it's time, that you're it's kind of more middle, right? You have more
uh
middle standpoints. It's not necessarily like, okay, it's not liberal, it's not conservative, it's distant from the extremes.
okay, well, see, but that's not an extreme position. Like, a libertarian idea is not an extreme, like that. More or less what was, well, not more or less, that was what the United States was founded on. We're still part of a monarchy where we actually don't really have our own autonomy within Canada. So a libertarian is one who advocates maximizing individual rights and minimizing the role of the state. One who believes in free will. One who maintains the doctrine of the freedom or of the will, especially in an extreme form, opposed to necessitarian or to a necessitarian. So you only, like, a necessitarian would be someone that, like, actually I would assume it'd just be the opposite. Yeah, oppose someone, freedom of the will, opposed to a necessitarian. Let's look at what that actually full on means. I assume that means that someone that, like, has to do with more controlling. One who maintains the doctrine of philosophical necessity in opposition to that of the freedom of will. Who the fuck? What is Century Dictionary, and why is it such dog shit?
I don't know.
But yeah, so I guess it's more one who accepts the doctrine of necessarianism. Okay, an advocate for the doctrine. Okay, blah, blah, blah. All right. In taking this, okay, whatever. Anyways, But that's not an extreme position. So if you look on Twitter, Facebook, a lot of, what the fuck was that?
Well, sorry, I was about to try and talk. Well, okay, maybe not necessarily like just your liberals and your conservatives, but you have like the alt right and you have the alt left. Like those are the extremes, right? So they're
The
more of
alt
your
right and the alt left
extremist views.
are
What?
alt right and alt left are very similar in their ideologies.
Yes, but they're also more of the extreme.
Yeah, okay, most people are middle of the road. The
Exactly.
overwhelming majority. But yeah, it's the squeaky wheel that gets the grease. The alt right want segregation. They think that white people are the superior race and we should be segregating them. And government and everything is corrupt and helps prop up these inferior races. That's like an alt right, like extreme alt right. Alt
Correct.
left is as a white, like I've said, is an as an alt supremacist, as a white supremacist with a guilty conscience. They still advocate for the same things, for segregation. They want government intervention to protect uh you know races because they're either too dumb or too incapable of caring for themselves. So the government has to step in. Like most people are middle of the road. Like they do not want big government intrusion. Unless I'm projecting. I'll say I don't want government intrusion. I don't like government dictating and pulling the levers of an economy to tweak it where they're involved in absolutely anything and everything. I'm not okay with that. Like I've said, I don't know why it's government's business to regulate housing markets. That sounds pretty fucking communist to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, and I've brought this up before, and I start to sound like a communist sympathizer. Like, hey, what we're doing here isn't capitalism anymore. This is at least crony capitalism, if not corporatism, full blown. And I would probably lean that this is more a corporatism, a oligarchy, throw in whatever, where the government is now working with and is bolstered by corporations, where corporations actually run the country and the government really has no power to protect people from the insidious monopolistic nature of corporations, where they have sold out their country, they've sold out their own, their people that had helped build it. This is why I told, Walmart, you can go fucking die. I don't fucking care. Because they built their fortunes off the backs of the people that built it. And then they said, oh, well, we can go enslave children in China. Well, we won't because we have ethics, but we'll work with the companies that do that, that do that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So,
So they're still doing it just in a roundabout way.
No, it's like our phones, out of sight, out of mind. You don't see the kids mining for the cobalt. You don't see the conflicts over these minerals. You don't see the exertion of force from a potentially adversarial government that our government seems to cozy up to. So it's out of sight, out of mind. You don't see, you hear once in a while, like, an illegal factory in Bangladesh collapses, killing a fuck ton of people. Well, why were there so many people in there? Because it's all about money. The not the best quality stuff at the best possible price. It's the cheapest quality stuff at the absolute cheapest price. At the expense of other people.
Yeah.
And that's why I really, really refrain from having to purchase things outside of North America that is not manufactured in North America. And fuck me,
It's
is
hard.
that damn near impossible.
Right? It's
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah, everything. Even if, like, okay, maybe some stuff made in Taiwan, but they've started to outsource. A lot of people, a lot of companies actually divested from China and have started, in like Vietnam, in India, in Bangladesh, all these other countries. some places have pulled out of China, but people just like it's such a okay. So I guess this does more or less tie into what we're kind of talking about because I guess we'll just get into like the first article here.
Yeah.
So from CTV News and it's titled, "So the produce industry warns of potential shortages as supply chain issues mount." So fearing what they describe as a serious threat of shortages of some items in supermarkets, produce organizations in Canada and the US are calling for government assistance to address issues affecting the global supply chain. So what's going on? Joe Brucey is the general manager of Ontario Greenhouse Vegetable Growers. Blah, blah. He told CTV News that currently there is so much product sitting at ports, adding that there are ships waiting in the water because there's no room to offload their goods at the receiving ports. Okay, so and you can as always, all the references, everything we talk about. If I'm able to, we'll link it in the description. The Chris Cuomo stuff, man. If you're gonna look at CNN, if you're gonna look at MSNBC, if you're gonna look at any of the mainstream stuff, you're not gonna find it. They never talked about it. They never, even like this whole Russia collusion thing. They just hit it. Everyone still thinks that Russia collusion and Trump was a thing. It's totally not. It was completely debunked. People are going to jail. They are being charged because of it, because of the absolute lie. But
Okay, so hold on.
anyways,
So
what?
it's saying that there's so much product and it's sitting at the ports because there's no room to offload it. So that wouldn't signify to me that there is a produce shortage. It's just like they're just letting it go bad. They're letting it sit there and go bad.
Yeah, because there's not enough people to offload the ships because of COVID policies. So this is why I always say COVID didn't do this. It's government's response to it. That's where we're coming into the problem. And now you see, there are businesses that, well, if you don't get the shot, okay, well, then you're fired. Or you have to take a negative test and it's going to be on your dime. Even though technically it's none of your fucking business, but okay, so we're gonna play this game. All right, I guess just the mass. And I've said okay, then I want to know everyone's medical history. Do you have any sexually transmitted disease? I posted in our Facebook group. Hey, if you're so so gung ho for just giving your private information to everyone, I demand to see everyone's tits. I want to see everyone's dick. Don't actually send me. No, fuck, whatever. I don't care. I'm not sexist.
Yes, then did.
Give a fuck. No, but you can check out. You send it to my Twitter DMs. How about that? So the thing is, okay. So do you actually like privacy? Like, do you fuck with the curtains open? Like, is that what you do? Are you one of those kind of people?
Yeah. Oops. Carry on.
Ooh my! It looks like the neighbors.
Oh my!
I know, but so a lot of this is okay. So there's not enough people to get those containers off the ships, and now there's not enough because there's not enough trucks to get those containers out of the ports. It ends up sitting there, which creates a backlog, a massive backlog.
See, and that's just sad on multiple levels. I mean, for one, you have people who don't have jobs. Two, you have stores that are ordering food and they're not getting it. So now in turn, because there's not enough people to unload these products and they're all just sitting there rotting and going to waste, that's a lot of food wastage that I'm pretty sure homeless population and stuff like that could have had. You know what I mean? Like it could have gone someplace instead of just rotting and wasting. And then you have people in grocery stores who can't get the food that they need because the food doesn't get there because it wasn't offloaded. And then prices start going up. Ka-ching. That's
Okay,
horseshit.
but so and it's supply and demand. If the demand is high, okay, well then the price goes up. But the thing is, and I've brought this up and I've said it before. Say it with me. We are experiencing.
Fuck. Are you dying? Do You have COVID?
Stagflation. Fuck, I wish.
I
Please
was
just
about to
take
say
me
it, and
out.
then you started freaking coughing like crazy, and I'm like, okay. I
Yeah.
mean, is this part of the bit here?
No. But
Oh.
okay, so yeah, so stagflation. That is what we are dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing is being produced. We aren't able to buy anything, and people are unemployed. So Ruchi, he continued on to say that the average time for goods to be on the water used to be 15 days, so just over 2 weeks. But now some items are out for up to 60 days,
Jesus.
plus the time that it sits at the port.
Oh my
So
God.
it could be another 2-3 days. That's typically about 2 to 3 days. Those ships are completely emptied, and they're normally being loaded by the next day and gone. And he continues with, when the product finally comes in, it's going to be on its last legs, if any legs at all. So you're going to have incredible cost increases, and half of this stuff will probably be thrown away. So we have, the supplies are taking longer to get here. China is having a production slowdown because people just aren't buying as much anymore, which is, you know what? Good. We shouldn't rely on every single other country for us to function. And unfortunately, we are not a globalist society that share the same ideas. Just aren't. So the ships are taking longer to get their product from where it is to where it needs to be. And then sitting at the ports longer because there are not enough trucks. In fact, there's not enough containers. There are ships that are sending boatloads of containers completely empty. That has never, that like, I shouldn't say never. That is such a rarity that, like, it might be like a couple containers, maybe a couple are empty. But
Oh my
no.
God. Yeah, sorry.
What?
I'm reading in this article too. It's saying, especially in the warehouse level, there's 82% of business um, that is like labor shortages,
Yeah.
and
Well,
then
people are being laid off. People are,
a
they're
hundred.
told, hey, if you don't have the shot, okay, well then you're fired, or we have to spread things out. Shipments are taking longer to produce.
And 100,000 truck driver shortage. Holy
Well, and
shit!
that's its own can of worms. So, and then if you look at the next section, it says, well, Canada's growing season is ending.
Well, yeah,
It
we got
ends from
snow,
about
dude.
a lot of our food comes from BC. They stopped growing. I believe it's either November or December, and they fire up again, I think, in March. So there's about 3 months where nothing really is being produced.
And that's really sad because a lot of that stuff, because it's sitting so long, is just going to waste. What? Oh,
Well, there's no trucks to get the stuff. There's no one that in the warehouses that are able to do it. But so there's that. Um, so I guess we can look at the next article. So this is from the Trucking Network, and it's saying, I don't know if we brought necessarily this one up before. No,
well, we
this
have
is
talked about
a
truck
new one.
shortages.
Yeah, but so yeah, like if the barrier to entry is a lot higher, even in terms of compensation. Compensation is significantly lower for a similar education. The trade-off, a lot of people aren't interested in it because of the narrow operating costs that businesses run at. They can't afford to have someone that doesn't know, like doesn't have the expertise. It's one thing to just complete a course. It's different when you are no longer being supervised and being trained. There's no graduation program, and this is why I've said, maybe Red Seal certification is the way to get out of it. if someone is making, starting wage is $50 or $60,000 a year, and it increases, the longer you are. I know that sounds like a pro-union thing, doesn't it? But
A little
I don't know.
bit.
I said I don't know. I'm not a fan of unions, but I understand the concept. Them in practice is a little bit of a different story to me, but I like to work. I like if I don't have something to do, and I don't know if I've ever brought this up, but when I wasn't working for a little while, I fell into a bad depression because I didn't have a purpose. I didn't know what to do. I didn't like, why do I have to get up in the morning? Like, I got the kids ready for school, but it's like, oh, it was a fucking struggle. I didn't want to do anything.
Yep.
So I need something to do. Otherwise, yeah. Otherwise I do nothing. So yeah, the compensation isn't great. The sacrifices that are made for that compensation aren't great. But, and then like for a lot of companies, like even like, starter businesses, think of like a bakery. Well, a lot of them just start out in their house. Like, it's shit that you literally have in your house. An oven, bowls, and your cooking ingredients. Your
We have an
baking,
oven.
whatever. Shut up. But so, your barrier to entry is really low. Barrier to entry in the transportation industry is about $200,000.
If you're
At
wanting
least.
to, if you're going the owner operator route, not
Well,
company guy.
well, what? Well, why wouldn't I? The thing is, why wouldn't you?
Well,
But
because
I know.
the cost is so high.
Well, I know, but that's the point. Like, yes, because the barrier to entry is so high. In terms of insurance and regulations that are needed, it prices so many people out. And you either have to get in with you either have to have investors in order to get your company banging, like where you are actually self-sustaining, or you wither out and die. So if there's anyone that's looking to invest money in a transportation company, shoot me an email. But there and also, like, with the amount of training that's required. Okay, so you need more training, and there's no change in how much pay you have. So it's not really worth it. So, well, I don't know. I shouldn't say it's not worth it, but you can't be a bottom rung guy and expect to be making lots of money. You have to move up the chain. Like, you can't just be a dry van guy, even a reefer guy. Okay, yeah, like I always, like, for me, I haul reefer. I smoke it too. No, I'm just joking. I can't because I'm federally regulated, and if I did, I'd actually be thrown in jail and lose my license. So I actually don't do reefer. It was a joke. It was a joke.
Just
Just toke. Bong. Okay.
oh boy, that's pretty stoned out humor there.
But so, I don't know what the fuck I was saying. What the fuck was I just saying?
You were talking about your pulling reefer.
Oh, yeah. And then, you move up from there. You're doing flat decks, and you're doing over dimensionals, and you're doing like hazardous goods, and so on and so on. Like, that's
One of
obviously
those
not.
crazy fuckers. You can go ice roading. Ugh.
Well, yeah, you can do that. Well, that's considered, like, there's a lot of hazard pay in that, because yeah, it is fucking dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just there's a lot of saturation in the market. There's a lot of people that do it. So, you have to move up those rungs, or you have to get contracts with people that are, that are willing to pay. And instead of just, hey, we do the bare bones minimum, and we have really shitty drivers, and we cause accidents over and over and over, looking at you, Transax, but, I didn't say that. But that's kind of or Swift. Yeah, Swift. Sure wish I finished training. Slow wagon in fast traffic. See what I fuck up today. There we go.
Oh boy.
But that's kind of how the industry's gone. And so I guess with the next one, like I don't know if people really, this isn't really an article, but it's graphs are sexy. But so it was showing for the consumer price index is up. I I I know it says 142.9, but
Mom? Inflation rate mom? What? I don't
hmm,
remember.
what?
On your graph here, the third or second from the top says
Oh,
inflation rate mom. Is there an inflation rate
m-
data on here?
m- month over month.
Yeah, sure.
But looking at the consumer price index, it's up 142.9. So from
Wow.
so just seeing the steady rise. So the inflation rate is sitting at 4.4% right now. Like, and that's 4.4%. I believe that's month over month, unless I have my numbers wrong. But and if you look at well, actually, like this trading economics is a great way to get a lot of different types of information in regards to like money and yeah. So if you look at money, if you go to M1 money supply, look at that fucking climb. Can you see that?
No. What do you mean the M1 money supply?
So if you on the right, you'll see it has like markets, GDP, labor prices, health, money. Click on money, and then you'll go money supply M1,
Oh. Oh.
and you just see a massive spike. Well, it's not a spike. It's a pretty fucking steep incline though.
Yeah.
And this is just money that is being printed. This is the amount of money that's available in the country.
Oh. Well, shit.
So if you look at the consumer price index, holy shit, it's almost like matches it exactly. Yeah, the more money that is in the market, the less valuable that money is. So if you're making, that remember that $15 an hour minimum wage that everyone gets a fucking hard on for? This is the same type of shit that happens. So okay, you make $15 an hour, but now everything has to meet that $15 minimum. And naturally, everything's going to go up because I tell you, the executives, all the upper management people, they're not taking a pay cut. They're not, unless the government steps in. But, at that point, we might as well just call ourselves China. If the government has to regulate every single point of a company, what's the point of being a fucking company?
Oh, I'm sure freaking Trudeau would love that. Probably gives him a little
Oh, yeah.
job.
Oh, well, he said he loves how China is able to pivot their economy so fast.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So you see, everything's going up. Stuff isn't getting there. People are buying more shit online because, well, they have nothing to do. So they try to fill that void with buying useless shit instead of, starting producing it yourself. Like you and me, we talked like at our property, we are planting apple trees. We are going to be planting fruits and planting, bushes like berry bushes and stuff. All things that are native to Manitoba so that we're not introducing a potentially invasive species. So, you know, no offense to like oak and poplar and maple, but fuck you, you don't give me food. So,
Well, I mean,
you know,
maple, if we would actually, like, tap them, you could get maple out of it, which could produce money, plus it's maple, but we don't have any
here's
maple
another
trees. I wanted a maple
here,
tree, I'm not gonna lie.
here's another thing. The Canadian government regulates the price of maple.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Mhm.
What
Yeah,
else
so
is
we
new?
control the market. Yeah, we control the market for maple. It's so fucking but so, like that's what we're doing. We're planting trees, and it's so interesting how in cities, why don't we have like fruit bearing trees everywhere?
Do you know how great
I
that
don't
would be? Like, honestly, like, okay, just thinking about that, I honestly just got like this like beautiful vision in my head. Even if we had like fruit trees and stuff like that in planters downtown or whatever, just everywhere. Could you like that would help at least feed homeless people?
Well, okay, we're not feeding the homeless. They're
What?
freeloaders. They're not entitled to everyone else's work because they're freeloaders. Okay, so no, homeless are not allowed to eat the fruit.
Well, maybe they can be the ones taking care of it, you know?
Hey, maybe. All right, then you're entitled to 2 apples. All right. Mhm.
Sweet.
So let's
I
see the
just saved world hunger. Yeah.
Yeah. So if so I'm looking at food inflation. It's and this is month over month. October, November, December, January. Yeah, so it's just going up. July, August, I assume this is September. It's up nearly 4%.
Yeah, the food one that it's pretty crazy because you see like it starts out last October at like 2.3 and then it
Yeah.
kinda goes down a bit and then it up and then down, up, down, and now it's like skyrocketing up. It's
Okay,
been
but so that number, it's like when you see 2.3 and then 1.9, it's not like the price has gone down, it's increased. So from October, say to January, it's gone up 2.3 plus 1.9 plus 1.1 plus 1. So it's actually gone up 3, 5.5, 6.5%.
yeah,
That's what that actually is showing. And then 1.8, 1.8, 0.9. So that is on top of what the price already was.
awesome.
Yeah. So it's but so I I I would love to have something like that. Like, yeah, apple trees, they take time to grow, but it's an apple tree. Come on. I would much rather have something like that where the streets have apple trees and oh, you better be careful. It's October. Careful, there's going to be apples falling everywhere. It's like, what
See,
the
that's right? That's what I just don't understand. Like, why don't you walk down in neighborhoods or, down streets and stuff like that? Why don't they have, fruit trees and stuff? Why?
it's like cloudy with a chance of fruit?
Yeah. But, like, do you know how convenient that would be? Well, of course, that's the problem. It'd be too convenient. It takes away from the money from whoever's making the money off of them getting apples from wherever the fuck they get it from. Like, you'd be able just to go outside and be like, "Oh, I wanna make some apple pie today. Okay, I'm just gonna go pick a few apples and carry on my day." Like,
See, I could see that the with the issue being like, hey, well, someone could poison the apples. Okay, well, I guess, but then shoot that person. Fucking kill him.
okay,
Like,
okay.
I don't know. I don't get it. Just okay. Clearly, they're a fucking piece of shit human being. Like, you think we don't have enough in this world? I'm sure we could use one less. But I don't know. I would like that. Like, you're driving down the road and you just yank off an apple and carry on. I don't know.
Right.
I just wonder if people are too cynical and would just like destroy it, or I don't know.
Well, there are a lot of
The
assholes out
altruistic.
there, so that wouldn't really surprise me.
Yeah, maybe, but what's okay? So what's the worst that happens? They destroy an apple tree. Okay, plant a fucking new one. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why that's not like a national thing, and like maybe the trees in the cities or wherever, they're like a protected thing.
Mhm.
Like, hey, these like, and I wonder if it's more like you have to kind of change, like you have to change people's mentalities. Like, hey, you might not use this, but this is for all of us to use. It's like a park. The trees, the apples and whatever, the peach trees, whatever. What if you had like neighborhoods that were, specific to one type of fruit?
Mhm. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Like, hey, we have to go down to whatever, St. James, and those peaches from St. James. God, do they smell good? Or
The
like,
T-Town
I don't know.
oranges. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they'd probably be really slutty, but they taste good, I guess.
Their skin falls off really easy.
Yeah, yeah,
But
you know. So I don't know. I think that'd be like a cool little thing, or like the whole uh like with grass. Like I can't remember who I was hearing talk about it, but they were saying something like in North America, you have so much unused land. Like someone that has like a bigger property that their yard is just grass. They say like that is so like that is such a show of, I don't know if it's dependence. Like you are like if you just have a big yard and just grass everywhere, you are literally unsustainable. Like you are not self-sufficient. You have a nice big yard, but okay, cool. You gonna eat that grass?
yes. I make really
No,
good
you're not.
grass smoothies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
And I'll, but
Put a
I
few
don't
pine
know.
cones in there too. Oh, so good.
Actually, back in high school, they used to call me the pine cone stuffer.
Why?
Hmm. I can't talk about that here.
Okay. Okay.
But so yeah, I don't know. That's kind of the moves we're making. Like, having those fruits on our property so that we can, we're not so reliant on everything else. Like there are reports like there's big snowstorms that are happening right now, and I know they're supposed to be letting up, soon, but
Well, and
you know,
whoever's in Winnipeg, well, they know. They know. We got so much freaking snow today, it's not even funny. Like our driveway alone has probably close to 8 inches, I'd say, easily.
well,
And our snowblower is not working at the moment. Fun
oh, why
times.
not?
I don't know. I just can't get it to start, and then the wrong oil was put into it. So
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
yeah. So it's gotta be drained now.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, but what normally happens? People lose their power. Okay, well, you don't have a way of heating your own home because you're not allowed to. Because insurance fucking spikes if you have a wood burning stove in your home. Even though it's a backup. Like literally people that are out in the country like we are, that's a safety feature. That's to
You
stop
would
us
think.
from dying. But yeah.
One would think. I mean, I
Uh,
don't really know personally how much more a wood stove would be more dangerous than space heaters, personally. I mean, either one of them
I
you
don't
leave
know.
unattended could potentially cause a fire. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. I just if like, hey, people, when you go shopping, buy extra, buy dried stuff. Like that's like Kim does the shopping for us, and I tell her all the time, hey, when you go shopping, just grab a couple extra cans. You don't need to go like, toilet paper crazy. Like the whole, no, there's no toilet paper. Like, no, just grab. grab like 4 or 5 extra cans of something.
Yeah, don't worry. We
You know?
have like our whole room in the basement's full of toilet paper. We're good.
Oh, thank God.
Just kidding. I
At
literally
least
had to like run to the corner store the other day just to pick up toilet paper because we ran out. That's how much I hoard toilet
yeah.
paper. Yeah.
Well, and hey, what are you gonna eat when the stores are empty? Like I was in a truck stop today. They had nothing. Nothing.
What
They
do you
didn't
mean
have
nothing?
they didn't have there was like shelves were empty.
Like no food at all?
They had like prepackaged like chips and shit. Normally they have like counters that have fresh made food or like sandwiches or salads or whatever. Nothing.
Well, that's lame.
None of their coffee machines were working, so you couldn't get cream. And I know, first world problems, but when the little stuff is missing
You got
and it's
problems.
stuff, well, and it's not crazy, crazy unique things. It's cream.
Yeah.
Instead of us having to have farmers like fallow their fields and dump all their milk. Why couldn't that be brought to food banks? And I understand
Right?
someone has to pay for it. Okay, well donate it and make it a fucking tax write-off.
See, but that's the thing. Like, I remember asking about that too. And it was always, okay, well, you would have to have the farmers agree to that, which most farmers would, because they would rather see their food go to anybody, than for it to go to waste. Two, then you would have to convince a truck driver to come pick it up on his own time and then take it to the place. And you have to have somebody distribute it, package it, and stuff like that. All of these things being done out of their own pockets. So I can understand once it was explained to me by a farmer why it was when COVID hit that the farmers were destroying their fields and unfortunately animals had to get put down and stuff like that. Like it made sense. It's still extremely sad. Like I know that there was a couple farmers, potato farmers, that took a bunch of their potatoes into the local town and literally just opened it up and said, "Take me," like free. And people were coming and taking it because they would rather see it being used than to go to waste. Any farmer would. But when
Well,
you're
I'm saying,
stuck hands tied, that's the hard
well,
part.
but I'm saying like if it was, say it was like a tax write-off. Like, hey, this could go to food banks. And I understand that the milk has to be pasteurized. Yeah, there's a lot of links in that chain
Yes.
that all have to agree to it. And I get that. And maybe it's easier and a lot of farmers aren't working on a massive surplus. In fact, a lot of them are on a very narrow profit margin.
Well, see,
So,
and that's why it is so hard on the farmers. Like all that stuff, it's not hard on the consumers or well, I guess somewhat on the consumers, but it's not hard on the business people, the people who are actually shipping these things and your governments and stuff. It's not hard on them. It was extremely hard on the farmers to watch all of their work that they just had to like dispose of and know
yeah.
that this food could go to somebody. But how are they going to get it there? They don't have the means to actually get it to places to give it to people. And any farmer would much prefer it going to soup kitchens and stuff like that. But, well, again, you got to pay for your workers to do it, or you have to convince your workers to do the shit for free. And just because a farmer has a good heart and can see that, hey, this would be much better this way, how many people do you know that would work for free?
No one.
Yeah. It's really
S-
sad. It really is. Like, the government should have put
So
something in play then to just help unload this
I
stuff.
no. The thing is, I don't think like okay. The first 2 weeks we didn't know what we were dealing with. If we were actually being honest, and with the more and more information that has come out, unfortunately, COVID is with us to stay. You're gonna get it. We're all gonna get it. It's not gonna go away. It is something that we are going to have to live with. But if living with it means this, then no. No, then we've dropped the ball big time. It was not like this with H1N1, which was considered severely worse. I was delivering H1N1 kits when H1N1 started.
Oh, wow,
I was
really?
delivering the vaccination kits. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I remember I was at one place. I was on a reservation, and so the kit had to go to, or the kits had to go to the to the band office. And so as I'm unloading it, this lady walks up to me. She goes, "Oh, are those the H1 kits?"
Oh
Right
my
next to me. I'm like,
god.
"Are you fucking serious?" And I just like, what the fuck? Yeah, they are. but but so I guess, okay. So I guess we'll finish up. So this with this article from the Financial Post, and it's titled, "So More Canadians Feeling Pessimistic About the Economy with Confidence Sliding for Third Straight Week." And so this was done back in September. So, okay, so we're this is the the most recent thing that I was actually able to find. But so this little point here, the share of Canadians who see the economy strengthening over the next 6 months fell to 35% last week. So this is, September 1st, down from 54% at the beginning of July. So it was at 55. Now it's down to 35, that the economy is going to be getting better. Questions around personal finance and real estate have also shown a declining trend in recent weeks. The good news, that household sentiment is still at high levels. The confidence index is about 10% above its historical average. So, yeah, it's I don't know. I really think buy an extra couple cans, buy some beans, you know, just protect yourself. Really, just protect yourself. I think that's really all I could say is, hey, if, like, and the fruit trees that we're growing, they're from this, like, they're from the apples we bought in the store.
Yep.
They have seeds in them.
What? You shut your mouth.
Yeah. There's a guy on YouTube that I've been watching, and that's literally what he does. He'll show you how to produce the fruit from the plants that you get from the store.
Yeah, it's pretty
Or
cool, actually.
yeah, yeah. So okay, it might not be the absolute the greatest, and it's not, I don't know, whatever. But hey, I would rather take a so-so apple over no apple when I'm hungry.
Yep.
Call me crazy,
Crazy.
but oh fuck. But so yeah, just buy an extra couple cans. Like, you know,
An
I
extra
like,
couple. Let's not go crazy here, people.
yeah,
Save some
no,
for your
just,
neighbors.
well, or how about work with your neighbors? How about we bring our communities back? How about we work together? How about we can actually rely on on each other?
That'd be
I'm
nice.
cool with that. Yeah, I would. And that was kind of partly the reason. Like, hey, if we plant those apple trees, okay, well, our neighbors, our community has fruit now.
Yeah. I can tell you, for
Like,
one, we have phenomenal neighbors, and we got
yeah,
very lucky. And they are people that we 100% would bat for and help out in if they needed it 100%.
yeah. So, you know, yeah, go to the store and just buy some fucking canned vegetables. Worst case is they sit there and you find a recipe in a couple months. Okay, cool. Or they just sit there and they do nothing. Like, that's what we do. We just buy a couple canned things and then they sit in our basement.
Yeah.
It, I don't know. Okay. It's what we end up spending, what, an extra like $10 every, what, 2 weeks on a couple canned things, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So $10 over the course of 6 months. Okay, well, now you have a couple cans of food or a couple dozen cans of food that, okay, you don't have to worry about in the event that something happens, especially being outside the city. We lose power. That happens.
It
It's not
did.
the Yeah, it's not the first time we've lost power, and it's definitely not the last time we've lost power. It'll happen again and again.
Yeah, that one time was
So,
scary.
yeah,
Can't you remember how long we were going before we had our good friends come rescue us?
yeah,
We were freezing in their house and trying to keep us warm and the dogs warm. Like, it was in the winter. It was horrible.
yeah.
But it was hours and hours and hours.
But, trying to have those kind of that fail-safe system, like a generator, or like I said, I'm looking at trying to find a wood stove that we can put in the house. That in the event that we lose power, at least we have heat. So, all right. Yeah. So, who wants to tweak my nipples?
I do. You're
Okay.
so far
All right.
away, though.
Yep. Yes, I am.
You can't reach them from here. Just hold on. Just press them up against the mic, and I'll try to like Freddy Cougar my hand through it, and
Ew.
come to a little twist.
Um. No.
No, I'll leave the knives at home. I'll just use my hand.
Okay. Yeah. No. All right. Yeah. Well, thank you, everyone. You know, hit the like button, subscribe to us, share it with your friends and family.
Share.
If you enjoyed it,
Share it with your enemies too. I don't even give a shit. Just share us.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess what everyone have a great weekend, and hope you took your time for Remembrance Day. If
Yes.
not, well, you're a piece of shit. So
Yes, and anybody who lives in, I don't know what the rest of Manitoba looks like, but anyone in and around Winnipeg or the outskirts, drive safe tomorrow. Roads are hell. So I know this is our first snowfall of the year. We got kind of spoiled a bit, and it was a Tuesday. There was no little, dandruffy draping, a little sprinkle. Nay, nay. It was like a foot of snow. So yeah, just be careful. Drive safe. Stay safe.
yeah,
Have
it looks like that's not supposed to let up till about Sunday. So
right. Can't
yeah,
wait.
all right, you guys have fun.
Have a fantastic weekend, and thank you for checking us out and hearing what we got to say. Bye, guys.
Bye, Kimberly.
Bye, Tyler.